So let me try to be consistent. One of the frustrations with Loki is, like a lot of the MCU, they don't really stay close to the comics, and I often feel the comic book story is a lot better. This one seemed like a kind of compromise between the comic books and the story that they're going to do, and for the most part I was very pleased. So I can't complain, they were at least trying to do the comic book stories justice, but I did feel, going to leave it ambiguous, a certain female character making certain choices did feel like, oh, okay, we're doing that story. That's better than the alternative that I dreaded, but it's still not that great. So what is occurring? Well, essentially we're just getting Loki and Mobius hunting down Kang, but the Kang they find is a little bizarre and out of place, put it mildly. But it's a lot better than episode 2 where the McDonald's factor felt a little distracting. So at least here it feels more organic to the story of these characters, that the adventure they go on goes the way it does. But then when they do the finale and all these twists, it's a usual problem with Marvel again, that they can't help themselves. It's like, okay, one major twist, all right, that's a little controversial, fine, I can accept that. But then it doubled down into an even bigger twist, and you're like, oh, really? We're going to do that twist. So it just feels that they just can't leave the story alone to be what it is, but they have to keep meshing it in the larger MCU plot lines. That said, if you did pay attention, you will be rewarded because they are literally laying down the foundation for the X-Men, for the Fantastic Four. They were dropping a lot of foundations for a lot of characters and future stories. I do appreciate that, and some of it is very accurate to comics, but then there's places it's not accurate to the comics, so it was a little frustrating. Overall, I'm going to give this a very high score. I do recommend it, but until we see more of the story, because it does feel like it's not as nightmarishly bad as I expected, where they were going to change the focus. But the change of focus is fine, but I still feel I have a lot of question marks about where they're going to go with Loki.